of investigation, nothing it was out of vandalism, which intended to desecrate the dignity of public institutions and buildings. President Bouakar's position on the court ruling has undermined the Minister of Information previously announced government position, at which time he said the government welcomes the court ruling and called on members of the House of Representatives to abide by the ruling. Jeremiah Pia said the legislative impasse have undermined and hindered Bouacar Koun's administration. As such, the government was prepared to uphold the rule of law and constitutional principles. The information minister at the same time warned that Liberia stand to benefit nothing if the nation's democratic principles are desecrated or disrespected, adding that there is no need to continue the lower house leadership fight. The National Election Commission has officially released its final result in the Nema County senatorial by-election, declaring Representative Samuel Koga of the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction as the winner. According to NEC, ballots from all 336 polling places have been counted, representing 100%, with government-backed candidate Samuel Koga securing 62,136 votes, constituting 52.8% of the total vote cast, while his closest rival, Edith Gongoware, received 40,506 votes, constituting to 33.95%. Announcing the result Thursday, NEC chairperson, Madam David Ethel Brown Lasana, congratulated the people of Nema County for their peaceful participation in the electoral process. She also acknowledged the support of the Liberian government and international partners in ensuring the successful conduct of the 2025 Nema senatorial by-election. The by-election was held to fill the vacant senatorial seat created following the death of Nema County's political godfather, Senator Prince Johnson, who died on November 28, 2024. As some people have begun celebrating the victory of Samuel Koga, several others, including political analysts, have raised concern about the financial implication of his victory, which would now cause another by-election for Nema County District 5, where he served as representative. Dozens of Liberians have criticized the holding of repeated by-election, especially when such vacancies are created by the elevation of sitting lawmakers. Senator-elect Samuel Koga's victory has been described as a significant win for the ruling establishment and has reignited debate among or about the cost of political reshuffling and the need for policy reform to prevent avoidable electoral expenses. Meanwhile, Madam Edith Gongoware has conceded defeat and congratulated Senator-elect Samuel Koga. Addressing supporters ahead of NEC final result, Madam Gongoware extended heartfelt thanks to the people of Nema County for their overwhelming support throughout the campaign. She also expressed appreciation to the Liberian women and the broader diaspora community who supported her candidacy. Madam Edith Gongoware has contested the Nema County senatorial seat 4 times and lost all 4. After nearly 2 decades away, a young Liberian man identified as Andrew Weir has returned to his homeland in a heartfelt search for his biological father, Alex Weir, a native of Sastan, Grand Crew County. Andrew, who was born in 2003, was taken to Togo in 2005 by his Togolese mother following a minor domestic conflict with his father. According to him, he has since been raised in Togo, cut off from his parental root, and with very little knowledge of his father's whereabouts. He told King's FM Thursday that his mother sadly passed away due to what he described as an unfortunate incident. Andrew furthered that his mother died and his stepfather constantly began telling him that he had no father. Andrew is now actively trying to reconnect with his father and is also seeking a known relative, his aunt Beatrice Weir, who is believed to be residing somewhere in Liberia. Andrew further informed the station that his friend he traveled with betrayed him upon arrival in red light, stealing all his belongings a morning at a local guest house, adding that he's now without shelter or resources. He is relying on the kindness of strangers while navigating unfamiliar surroundings. He is actively seeking to reconnect with his father and is also trying to locate a known relative, his aunt Beatrice Weah, who is believed to be living in Liberia. Former President George Weah has welcomed Supreme Court ruling in the Bill of Information and outlined an urgent need to preserve the country's constitutional democracy. In a statement issued late Wednesday, the former Liberian president described the High Court ruling as a landmark opinion, noting that the court decisively declared that the action of all of the so-called majority bloc are unconstitutional and illegal. We are also reaffirmed that Speaker J. Fonanti Kova remains the legitimate and constitutional Speaker of the House of Representatives, adding that the ruling is not merely a legal decision, but a crucial affirmation of the rule of law and the constitutional order that underpins Liberian democracy. He further challenged every Liberian, including officials of government, to stand united and firm in support and protection of the Constitution, regardless of political pressure or challenges, noting that the country's future depends on the collective commitment to uphold these sacred values. Former President Weah at the same time urged the international community and all supporters of Liberia to encourage the Bouaka administration to uphold the rule of law and comply with the Supreme Court decision. In a related development, the political leader of the Liberian National Union, Lenon, Dr. Clarence Moduba, has commended the Supreme Court of Liberia for its decisive, timely, and principled ruling regarding the leadership dispute at the House of Representatives. In a statement released Thursday, Dr. Moduba said the ruling of the court is rooted firmly in constitutional authority and legal precedent, brings clarity and guidance at a moment when the rule of law is on a visible strain. He affirmed that democracy in Liberia must remain attached in the Constitution and governed by laws, not influenced by political expediency or shifting alliances. The release further that Lennon strongly advised Representative Richard Cohn and the so-called majority bloc to ensure that any efforts to alter the leadership of the House totally complied fully with Article 49 of the Liberian Constitution and other relevant provisions guarding legislative procedure. Dr. Moduba emphasized that this regard for due process do not only undermine institutional legitimacy, but risks plunging the nation into constitutional chaos, which is not just about procedure, but its principles. He noted that Liberian institutions must be protected from action that threaten the foundation of the country's democracy and cannot allow the rule of law to be circumvented in favor of political powers played in demonstrating that the judiciary is not only the final arbiter of disputes, but a cornerstone of peace and national integrity. At the same time, Chairman Emeritus of the National Patriotic Party has applauded the Supreme Court of Liberia for upholding the Constitution of Liberia. Chief Siri Allen said the Supreme Court did not rule in favor of Representative Fonanti Kofa, but the rule of law in the country. Speaking in an interview with journalists on Thursday in Monrovia, the NPP Chairman Emeritus described the ruling of the Supreme Court of Liberia as victory for democracy and constitutionality in Liberia, where he said disregard for the rule of law is on the increase. According to Chief Allen, the ruling of the Supreme Court is not a victory for embattled Speaker Fonanti Kofa has been perceived by others in the political cycle because it is a message to the politician that rule of law will take root in Liberia despite constant disregard by some powerful individuals' habit of bending the rule or laws to suit their desire. The NPP Chairman Emeritus then cautioned the Liberian people to punish politicians who are in the habit of disrespecting the rule of law in Liberia. Chief Siri Allen has, however, expressed disappointment in the Supreme Court of Liberia for what he termed as it delayed in the adjudication of cases that have the propensity to create chaos in the country. He blamed President Joseph Bouaka for his alleged failures to settle the power struggle at the House of Representatives despite his over 40 years experience in government. Meanwhile, opposition movement for economic empowerment has issued statement calling on President Joseph Bouaka to uphold the rule of law by enforcing the Supreme Court ruling that reinstate Councillor J. Fonanti Kofa as a legitimate Speaker of the House of Representatives. In a detailed press statement released on Thursday, MOVE hailed the ruling as a resounding victory for justice, constitutionalism, and democratic governance, while warning that executive silence or inaction could be unacceptable. The National Oil Company of Liberia is conducting what it calls a strategic retreat in Buchanan Grand Bassa County. The NUCAR 2025 retreat has gathered officials of government and citizens of Grand Bassa County. Giving an overview of the retreat, NUCAR acting CEO Fabian Light said the National Oil Company has achieved significant milestones, including a successful completion of port offshore exploration projects, establishment of strategic partnership with international oil companies, implementing state-of-the-art technology for resource mapping and developing comprehensive training program. According to him, NUCA's commitment to harness Liberian natural resources responsibly and sustainably remain unwavering. Two lawyers have provided their opinion on the open refusal by the majority Speaker of the House of Representatives to disobey the ruling of the Supreme Court in a stalemate in the lower house. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court declared the activities of the majority Speaker unconstitutional and illegal. Speaking on the nighttime hidden Prime FM on Wednesday, Councillor Oricho Gould, who is in the employ of the Ministry of Justice, described the disobedience of Representative Richard Cohn of the Supreme Court ruling as treason. The former chairman of the National Muslim Council of Liberia has called on President Joseph Boakai to implement the ruling of the Supreme Court in the case involving the minority and majority bloc in the House of Representatives. Sheikh Abdullah Masared, who was once the president of Interreligious Council of Liberia, said the failures of President Boakai to implement the ruling of the Supreme Court indicates that he is indirectly endorsing lawlessness in the government. The Liberia National Red Cross Society, LNRCS, has begun a 2-day induction training for its newly elected local and regional leadership. The training held in Broom County is under the theme Strengthening Leadership and Collaboration for Effective Governance and Management. In a press statement issued Thursday, the LNRCS disclosed that 35 participants are from Grand Bassa, Lufa, Nimba, Riverside, and Broom counties to benefit from the ongoing training. Several others include local governance members, management staff, and the LNRC Central Region Vice President. The induction training is being designed to address a critical knowledge gaps following recent local election conducted by the Red Cross across Liberia's 15 counties. The acting managing director of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, Mohammed Sharif, has proposed an expansion of electricity accessibility in Liberia at an ongoing spring meeting of the World Bank Group in Washington, D.C. The LEC acting managing director wants government to leverage the 5 strategic substations constructed under the CLSG interconnection project to boost electricity supply in Liberia. Sharif stated that while the 5 substations have been completed, 4 remain unconnected to the national grid. He said that 535-kilometer stretch of the CLSG line within Liberia form the backbone of the country's transmission infrastructure and represent a transformative opportunity to extend electricity access. The governor of the borough of Newtown, Robert Tier, is expected to launch a 3-year strategic development plan. He is also expected to break ground for the construction of an administrative building for the people of the borough. Speaking on Thursday, the Director of Communication in the Office of the Governor, Robert Tier, Taid Jalad, disclosed that all is set for both the groundbreaking and the launching of the development plan to take place on Friday, April 24th, at the Multipurpose Town Hall in Nikutan. According to him, the program on Friday will include fundraising for the construction of the proposed modern administrative building and the full implementation of the 3-year strategic development of the borough of Nikutan. He further noted that the people of the borough will take the lead in funding the project, which he said will be backed by well-meaning Liberians, including officials or government. The Liberia National Red Cross Society has begun a 2-day induction training for its newly elected local and regional leadership. The training held in Broom County is under the theme Strengthening Leadership and Collaboration for Effective Governance and Management. In a press statement issued On Thursday, the NRCS disclosed that 35 participants are drawn from Grambassa, Lofa, Nimba, River Access, Bonga County to benefit from ongoing training. The news bulletin.